Listen to what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I can't do nothing about the lifestyle of men who choose that. But I do want to give you a little information. All you guys who thinking of coming out of here thinking you gonna make it, your asshole must be sacrificed. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it, homie. If you ain't coming out of here to ride cowboy style at these parties.
The Illuminati, they approached me.
Man, these is a joke.
It's dark and demonic energy that this industry was built on. And people manipulate young women, they manipulate kids, and at the end of the day, it's all for the dollar and all to feed their ego. So I've seen some where you be like, that's just not right. Like, that's
You was caught, and I hate that. Trying to hit you with that bull.
Nobody called him.
But we don't want to talk about that.
Say, listen. He said he would walk for you. He said he would have ran. You done admitted. You done admitted to being by a Hollywood executive. You wouldn't fight nobody.
You worked in Hollywood as a child actor.
Yes.
What did you make about the recent news on Nickelodeon and Quiet on Set and all of that?
None of it surprises me at all. I feel very, very lucky because I had a great experience. But I had a fantastic experience because I had a mother that was literally a shark, who was so, I just cannot say enough good things about her, who was so engaged in every part of my upbringing and my career, not as a momager, but as a mother.
I left Fox. I went to MGM for one picture, thank goodness only one. And when I got there with my mother, we were separated. She went into the office of Louis B. Mayer, and I went into the office of Arthur Freed. And he was going to talk to me about a movie he wanted to put me in. I'm 12 years old, you know. And I thought he was a producer, but instead he was an exhibitor. And I'd never seen anyone make it before, except myself. So I had no clue about what was happening. And so it struck me so funny, I laughed at him. And I laughed uproariously. I had tears, you know, and he got infuriated. And he said, out, 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 go.
Did you tell your mother?
Well, I was very quiet. I went down and met her in the lobby of the administration building. She came out very quietly from Louis B. Mayer's office, and we walked hand in hand silently to the car, which was unusual. We got in the car driving home. I said, Mom, you won't believe what happened to me. And I told her what happened, and she got kind of quiet. She said, well, you don't know what happened to me.
By the way, this is Tale as Old as Hollywood Time. If you've read that book that I recommended to you, Hollywood Babylon, this was already going on, that they would get women on tapes and then have them buy it back, or have like pictures of them and have them buy it back. The expression peeping Tom actually comes from an old Hollywood director who put holes, just like Diddy did, at his house and would have these raunchy parties and then would catch people on film. This is Tale as Old as Hollywood Time. Like I said, Hollywood has always been a town filled with debauchery and drugs and murder and lies and deception and people that are looked up to and hailed to as heroes and kings.
Right. Like, that's just, that person shouldn't be talking to that person. That person shouldn't be in the room with that person alone. When you're in this position to change people's lives, and you hold the keys to what they consider success, you see a different aspect of the person.
You didn't admit it to being in by Hollywood executive. You wouldn't fight nobody. You didn't fight them at your ass. No, you didn't fight them at your in Hollywood. Tough ass. When they were trying to you, did you fight?
Cat Williams, did I stick you?
When they were trying to you, did
Cat
you fight?
Williams, did I stick
you, did you fight? Your mama them left you by yourself. Your mama them left you by yourself with them Disney white folks, and them white folks with the on you, and you.
Are you running?
Who's running what?
Are you running when he's at it? Are you do you feel too much? It's a run.
From being
I left him.
He was as a child, homie. That's why he keep bringing up
you
this
with kids.
That's why he keep bringing it up. The Muslim and a 14-year-old. He is this been, and he can't take it. All these been to Hollywood. All of them, Raven, Simone, the earlier they went in. I ain't been to Hollywood yet. I'm trying to get in though, but I'm trying to get in without getting.
And it really, for me, I believe that there's a lot of reasons that I believe that Hollywood is problematic, but it is the targeting of children when you learn the history of Hollywood and just seeing the way that the pursuit of cameras and the pursuit of fame can warp somebody's brain. I mean, we're seeing a very distinct pattern here of child actresses kind of going off of the deep end. And there's a reason for that. You know, you look at, I mean, Amanda Bynes, Demi Lovato, Britney Spears, over and over again, we have these child stars and they just go wayward.
Greetings, you polite savages, and welcome to another Tip Talk.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Ladies, gentlemen, and polite savages, we are now about to embark on a journey and explore the effects of the Hollywood industrial complex system. And sometimes the truth is shocking, eye-opening, and a bitter pill to swallow. But you have to shut up and take your medicine. As always, we can only guarantee to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as we see it. So there's nothing left to do but get on into it. Are you ready? Let's go. One thing that should be apparent to everybody is that Hollywood and entertainment is not a meritocracy. From music to the movies, there are people who are far qualified, amazing actors, amazing vocalists who you never hear from again. They never quite take off. They never make it. They never reach the heights that you thought they were going to reach, even though they were far more superior than the other folks out there. And there's always the question of why. Why are these folks not making it? Well, possibly the solution is very simple. Maybe they're not opening themselves up to the advances of these executives. You see, don't think that Mr. Weinstein was the first person to ever take advantage of anybody in a Hollywood idiom. Going all the way back to the Shirley Temple years and either before that, children have been exploited, lives have been ruined, and we have been watching it, eating popcorn and enjoying the show, while beneath the surface, it's the most evil of the evils. And the question is, how long and how deep does the rabbit hole actually go?
1.
As a child star, Orlando Brown grew up before our eyes. We've seen him go from shows like That's So Raven, Major Payne, and The Jamie Foxx Show. These were smashes, hits during the time, and he was really projected into the forefront of American child actors, especially in a black idiom, where we all understand that, especially in the 90s, these roles were few and far in between. Orlando Brown was on his way, number one with a bullet, that cute kid that everybody wanted to cast, and you could watch him grow up on screen. But what you never seen was his parents standing beside him. What happened to Mr. Brown? Mr. Brown stated that abuse is rampant in the industry, and as he got older, he realized that he was required to do things to move forward. Let him tell it. It was almost a expectation. This is just a symptom of the sickness that Hollywood has to offer. These kids are going there to be stars. Their parents are selling them down the river, looking to make that quick buck, to make that money, to turn that dollar. And these young children are subjects, victims to be victimized by a system that for years has exploited them. All for the money. Their parents look the other way. Their producers look the other way. Their management looks the other way. The studio system looks the other way. And the audience still keeps looking the other way. It's a sick game.
I'll give you this. You can willingly turn woman and have a bag, or you can do what I'm doing. You can willingly turn trans, or you can get in trouble and go to jail and get up, and they do it to you forcefully because you up and you didn't know what to do with your blessing. So out of those two ways, me sitting here in one piece is not easy. It's not easy at all. You have to be respectful. Like, can't be just like, oh yeah, you think I'm sitting here playing with people's lives and these wives and bro and kids. And yeah, what they did to me was up. So I have the right to say whatever I want to say because they never thought I'd be able to say it. Okay, but when it comes down to just this industry and how people are willingly turning trans, turning female rapper just to get the bag, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I will tell you.
2.
Never has the emasculation of a masculine art form been so apparent than hip-hop in the late 2000s. In the last decade, we've seen an idiom that's gone from hyper-masculine to almost unrecognizable. Just think what the founders of the music would have thought if they could have fast-forwarded 25, 35, 45 years and seen exactly what was going on. It would have blew their minds. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to become more softer as far as language goes when dealing with the opposite sex. But what I'm saying is that that's not exactly what happened. Only the appearance has softened. These guys, these thugs, these drill rappers, they're wearing dresses in some cases, doing drive-by in skinny jeans, hopping out with a purse, pulling a ratchet from it and letting loose. This blurring of the gender lines is definitely something that is a direct reflection on a corrupt entertainment system in Hollywood. Because we know dang well that Dame, Suge, or Little J wouldn't have none of their artists running around in dresses. You dig?
Kid Cudi was seen wearing a dress. When you like that on the internet.
Somebody already ain't no internet already put a dress on. Ain't no straight.
Did you see that on the internet?
Yeah, I seen that, man. Him and Lil Nas X, yeah, man, rot in hell. Yeah, both them punk motherfuckers rot in hell. Yeah, he put on a flower white dress, talking about he paying homage to Kurt Cobain. Yeah, that just got on there with a pair of gray sweatpants with that print, paying homage to a motherfucking white boy. Show the what the guy. Don't put no motherfucking dress on. Yeah, who is that? What do we do?
Because when we posted that on Say Cheese, do you feel like that is like it's some going on in the industry? Like,
well,
why do we see athletes or like entertainers wearing a dress? Now we all know about the dress, quote unquote, in Hollywood or just in the industry period. And they said, I mean, and Charleston White's answer or his response to that was because he didn't want to take that. And I thought about it. I sat there and thought about it. And I think about some people that wore the dress. Just think about it. A lot of male athletes, a lot of male actors, they put on the dress.
One thing that's transparent is Hollywood has a very sick way of exploiting young folks, from Dana Plato of Different Strokes fame, Todd Bridges, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, and all types of child stars that were just exploited. And the funny thing is that their parents seem to turn a blind eye to the entire situation.
I'll go you one better. You let me get around in my life, man, so to speak. When I was about 14 and a half, and I'm saying this right now, by the guy you still hang out with, and tell me I'm 14 and a half, take responsibility. What'd you do, man, when you saw that going down when I was 14 to me? What'd you do? You knew about it, besides being his best friend. What'd you do?
I believe
Lines of cocaine. God bless you.
You want to talk about the truth? Okay, well then let's talk about the truth. I was being at the same time by somebody else. What'd you do? What'd you do?
We know that they didn't see what was going on, but they sure did see those checks all the way to the bank. And this is what happens when someone offers you money to change your entire life, your entire lifestyle, to elevate you, dangle that generational wealth in your face, and you never had anything. A lot of these parents will sell their kids right on up the river and put them in the grinder. And just think, what kind of industry is Hollywood, and how is it able to exist operating the way it does around children? Because if a factory was known to grind up kids and spit them out, that factory will be closed down tomorrow. But since it's for the entertainment factor, and all of us are watching these movies and these shows, loving these childhood stars and the fame and the wealth, and the lobbyists lobby Congress to make sure that no laws are ever passed, and there's special exceptions for these children working all day and all night. It seems like it's a big, sick game. It's rigged to the teeth, and these kids are just in it. Hollywood eats us young, and we watch it daily. Damn.
Guys, witchcraft is real. Hollywood is a horrible place. Like, he saw kids getting R-worded. Yeah. They kidnapped him. But, dude, kids were getting R-worded. Like, dude, they were eating kids. Like, these people are fells who are literally just eating kids.
I was inappropriately touched by a Hollywood executive, and I'm not going to tell on nobody. This happened when I was a young man.
On the show, on Feminism?
No, this I'm not going to say, but that's what it is.
What happened?
See, I'm not thirsty.
What were the
I ain't got to tell them my business because I'm not thirsty.
I was sleeping on the couch where I would usually sleep. And I woke up to him. I just opened my eyes, I woke up, and he was
A path of drug abuse, self-deletion, and misery is left. over and over again, all for our entertainment. When will it end? When will we stop it? When will we look ourselves dead in the eyes and realize that we are complicit in the situations? Because I too was watching Nickelodeon, watching Different Strokes growing up, watching the kids show, watching Family Matters. My righteousness is dirty rags. I am no better than anyone else, but I can do this. Now that I know the game, I cannot participate. And the parents, don't get me gone on the parents, because they are the true villains here, because you can see what's going on and it is your duty to protect your kids. And sir, madam, you have definitely failed them, and you failed them for the root of all evil. Your 20 pieces of silver, your 6 shillings, all that glitters was gold, yes indeed, but was it worth your soul or your kids?
I can tell you that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret. And they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business. And children aren't supposed to handle that sort of stuff.
And you believe that children are being abused by pedophiles in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So why are you sitting down talking to me? Why aren't you sitting down with the police right now?
I've told the police. In fact, if anybody wants to go back to 1993 when I was interviewed by the Santa Barbara Police Department, I sat there and I gave them the names. They're on record. They have all of this information, but they were scanning Michael Jackson. All they cared about was trying to find something on Michael Jackson.
Who you said, by the way, did not abuse you.
Who Michael was innocent, and that was what the interview was about with the police in 1993. I told them he is not that guy, and they said, well, maybe you just don't understand your friend. And I said, no, I know the difference between pedophiles and somebody who's not a pedophile because I've been molested. Here's the names.
And then he calls me up kind of out of the blue, and it's kind of just this weird random thing, and he was like, why don't you come over to my house? And
what happened at the house? That's what all these things
it's,
that people
that's
are concerned
what's
about.
so weird, you know.
What did happen?
Nothing happened, you know. Nothing. I mean, nothing really. I mean, we played video games, you know. We played it as an amusement park. Is that, you know, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories. And it has like 3 bathrooms and this and that. So when I slept in his bedroom, yeah, but you have to understand the whole scenario. And the thing is with Michael, I mean, you're talking about someone who's been sheltered and sheltering himself also for the last like 30 years, or, you know, and so he's not very good at communicating to people and not very good at conveying what he's actually trying to say to you. And so when he says something like that, you know, people, you know, he doesn't quite understand why people react the way that they do. I talked to him like he was a normal human being. And that's what, and kids do that to him because he's not, I mean, he's Michael Jackson, the pop singer, very kid-like himself and wants to go out there and wants to play video games with you.
Did your parents
like
encourage it?
They weren't against it. You know, it wasn't like they encouraged it or like pushing me upon it. It was just kind of like I wanted to hang out with him.
I have to tell you this. I smoked with Michael, and then I get in the limousine and I leave. I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal over here. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me. And my mom's there and she's like, tell them what happened. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I sit down with them and they all ask these super sexually exploiting questions. And I looked at all 4 of them and I said, are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm gonna do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And she goes, oh, well, I think something happened, you know, I think something. I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving. We rode 4-wheelers for 5 hours, me, him, and Chris Tucker in the mountains at nighttime after his birthday party. And I looked at my mom, I go, are you really trying to go at Michael and use me for a money grab? And I looked at him right now, I said, nothing happened. Michael was flirting with girls right in front of me. I saw him looking at girls' booty. I said, I saw you looking at her booty. He was like,
Harley Pasternak followed me to the hotel. The nigga killed Aaron Carter, and now they acting like they won't kill clear the Backstreet Boys sample.
These guys work really hard at their craft, but the story ends the same. They usually are broken, torn, and usually just sad. And the story is very sad in the end because the companies take advantage of them. They really do. I've generated several $1 billion for Sony. Several billion. They really thought that my mind is always on music and dancing and it usually is, but they never thought that this performer, myself, would outthink them.
Yeah! Thank you for watching the Tip Network. Follow us on all social media outlets and ask yourself one burning question. Can you handle the tip? Boom. We're out.
We found true happiness